we are going to see some more question answer of the lesson The Little Match Girl, taken from your short story. Extract 3. She pulled one out scratch. How wonderful that was the method used by the child to keep her warm successful. The girl was literally shivering with cold. Her feet had turned blue and red due to chill, and above all, she had nothing to wear in her feet. Her head was also not covered. Her clothes were old and not warm. In such situation, she even found a corner formed by two houses more comfortable. She sat there, and an idea struck her mind that if she lights a match, she would get warmth. As soon as she rubbed it against the wall, a bright flame shone with a spluttered sound. It had a warm and bright flame like a tiny candle when she held her hand over it. It was so comfortable that she stretched out her feet to warm them too. Though it did not give her as warmth as was required in that weather, still she had peace in her mind, or one can say a kind illusion that she was getting warmth. I make this question number 1 of that extract 3. Then number 2. What do you think she was lighting? Only one match stick from the box. The girl belonged to a poor family. She had nothing to wear, and she was dying from cold and hunger. She had been sent out of the house in the morning only to sell match boxes so that she could earn some money for her father. She dared not to disobey her father due to his rude and cruel nature. She knew that if she would return home without earning a cent, he would beat her. So she decided to spend time in the street only, but because it was too cold and unbearable for the little girl, she thought of getting warmth by lighting matchsticks. On the other hand, she knew her father's nature, so she took out only one matchstick out of the box and lit it, knowing that how much one little match might warm her. Question 4. What was the first vision which she saw after lighting the matchstick? When the girls struck one small match from the packet, it spluttered and burnt. She felt like sitting in front of a great iron stove with shining brass knobs and a brass cover. The fire burned so beautifully and gave out lovely warmth. It appeared wonderful to the child, but soon the flame went out the stove, and she was left with only the remains of the burnt match in her hand. Question 5. What is the symbolism in the passage? There are lots of instances where symbolism has been used in the story. They are used to impart more than the literal meaning of the word. Here in this passage too, the iron stove is a symbol of the little girl's longing for warmth as she was dying with cold. She was expecting warmth from somewhere. She found a place in the corner between the two houses and hid her feet under it, but it was of no use. So she lit up a match, and in the light of the flame, and then she visualizes a stove. It is also the symbolic of warm feelings of love and care which her grandmother used to give her. Extract 4. She struck another match on the wall. Glorious Christmas tree. What different images did the poor child see on the wall? The little girl was almost dying with cold and hunger. Therefore she burnt a matchstick to get rid of that chill, but it soon went out. Thus she struck another match against the wall, and when the light fell upon it, it became thin like a veil. Through it she could see into a room. She saw a table covered with snow white cloth, and on it there was a shining dinner service. The roast goose stuffed with prunes and apples was streaming. The lighted She lighted another matchstick and found herself sitting under the most beautiful Christmas tree with thousands of candles burning on its branches. By this time again the match went out, but the Christmas lights were still there, which moved higher and higher, mounted higher and higher, which was the last picture that she saw on the wall and which she did not want to vanish. When the little girl lit a matchstick against the wall, she saw a beautiful image formed in the wall, which were her mind's productivity only. The final image which she saw was someone dying, and that was her grandmother, the only person who had loved her and was now dead. She got immense affection from her that she did not want to lose her again. She wanted her company forever, and she found solace in her grandmother's lap. That is why she did not want her grandmother's picture to vanish from her eyesight. Number 3. Why she wanted to keep the picture alive. Grandmother was the only person in poor child's life who loved her a lot. Her father was an ill-natured person who scolded and nagged her for petty things. There was no other member in her family except these two. The grandmother who used to love her, make them anyone, was now dead. She became relaxed and filled with joy. As soon as the match went out, the picture would also vanish. Number 4. What kind of relationship did the little girl share with her grandmother? It is clear that the little girl was all alone in the vast world. She only had one person in her life who gave her immense love, and that too was not alive. It was none other than her grandmother. She was dead, but the child remembered her family. She recalled all her views and stories told by her. The memory of grandmother and her affection gave her warmth for some time and enabled her to bear all this suffering. Question for practice, children. This is taken from extract 5. But in cold dawn, dash dash, forgetting the fear of her father, where did the grandmother take the child along with her? What is the theme of the story? What were people's reaction on seeing the poor child's stiff body? What is the significance of matches in the story? Please read the textbook, find out the answer of your own after reading the story. If you have any doubt, put in your WhatsApp group message, and have a nice day. Thank you.